Good afternoon, members. It's time to start. We've also formed a quorum. If you remember, our last meeting stopped at dealing with Mr. Elvin Young's motion. 3 members have pressed the button to speak. Mr. Ted Hui, Mr. Au Nok Hin, and then Mr. Stephen Ho, in that order. Currently, other than Mr. Elvin Young's motion, we've also got motions from Tanya Chen, Jeremy Tam, Kenneth Leung, and also Dr. Kiki Kwok has also moved another motion. Today, we have also received 2 other proposed motions, respectively from Mr. Kenneth Leung as well as Ms. Claudia Mo. Let us first of all deal with Elvin Young's motion. Mr. Stephen Ho, among those who pressed the button to speak, is present. No, I don't need to speak. I just want to put the matter to the vote immediately. Does any member wish to speak on Mr. Elvin Young's motion? If not, then I will invite Mr. Elvin Young to give a reply, and then we'll put it to the vote. Mr. Young. Mr. Presiding Member, the majority of members who spoke last time were concerned about or agreed with what I said. That is, in relation to the work carried out by the police at and around the electrical complex. Security is an important issue. When we come in and out of the LC complex, we see a lot of security personnel. Ordinarily speaking, it's fine. But then when there is a special scenario, we do not know most of the security personnel. And in fact, neither do they know us. So I need more information so that when we deal with the election of the chairman, we'll be equipped with more information. At the same time, candidates, on the basis of such proper information, can engage themselves in a fair debate. In the case of the police, there's even more serious. Well, they may not know democratic members and they may not respect us. That's fine. But what about Mr. Ma Fong Guok? I think that's a big problem. Just like someone at Polytechnic U not knowing who is Mr. Lam Dai Fai. So at electrical, if a police officer can't even tell that the person is a pro-establishment camp member, then it is a serious matter. I don't think it can be dismissed lightly. So I would like to invite the relevant authorities to provide the information to us so that we have a more thorough discussion on the basis of specific details. I think there was a discussion last time as to why Mr. Kenneth Chen wasn't present at the last meeting, and he's also absent from today's meeting as well. I won't go into the details. Probably other members will say more about that. How come that the head of the secretariat, namely Kenneth Chen, is not here to assist us in dealing with this important matter, unless, of course, he thinks that it's not important. I do understand that there are a few more letters that have been submitted to you. I don't intend to spend too much time on mine, so I just want to give a reply. All right, we'll put the matter to the vote. That is, whether you agree to deal with Mr. Elvin Young's motion. The bell will be rung for 5 minutes, and then we'll put the matter to the vote.
好啦，現在開。
Members, please proceed to vote. Please press the white button to indicate your attendance and then cast your vote. Just to remind you that the question I put to you, that is whether you agree to proceed with the motion proposed by Mr. Elvin Young. No questions? Then voting has come to an end, and the Secretariat, please show the outcome. Now the results are 17 for, 33 against, no abstention. I declare that the motion has been negatived. So we have dealt with Mr. Elvin Young's motion. The next one is from Ms. Tanya Chan. Well, I've noticed from the second paragraph of your motion, I don't think it has any direct relationship with our agenda today, which is election of the chairman. Thank you, presiding member. You can see that, as indicated and shown on the screen, that in the second part of my motion, I've said that the SG should witness. In the first paragraph, I have said that the SG should witness the completion of the election process. And in this way, he can provide information to us and answer our questions in a timely manner until the successful completion of the election. As to the second part, maybe you don't see the relevance. However, I need to explain. Well, in fact, we have had special meetings of the House Committee in relation to the election of chairman. Well, we have one item on the agenda, but if you care to take a look of the top of the paper, it is a special House Committee meeting on the 22nd of November 2019 at Conference Room 1. Well, this is sort of an continuation of the final item of our first House Committee meeting. Since then, we have been holding special meetings. Probably you would recall that earlier on I've written a letter asking for the SG to be present at the election of our chairman and deputy chairman. We have got a reply from the chair lady for the session 2018 to 19, namely Ms. Terry Lee, dated the 8th of November. Well, I think if you recall, please refer to member paper 191/19 to 20 /07. There's only a Chinese version. Well, in that paper, Mr. Lee said, I have to emphasize that the Secretariat should abide by the principle of being politically neutral. That's in relation to my request to have the SG present at the election of the chair and deputy chair. At that time, there were also queries from many members. That is, we asked why the attendance of the SG would jeopardize the political neutrality. It is still puzzling. Well, if you remember, whenever we have always had special meetings of the House Committee, and then for this session, other than the very first one, for this term of our LegCo, other than the very first one in the year 2016, at which the SG was absent, he has always attended all the other meetings. And on other occasions, we have also scheduled special meetings as well. 12th of October 2012 at 2:30 to 4:10 p.m., a special House Committee meeting in relation to the Nama vessel collision. We had a verbatim record, and then we have got a list of officers in attendance. Kenneth Chan, the SG, whose name appeared as the first in the list.
About 1 month later, that is the 23rd of November 2012, from 2:30 to 4, the issue discussed was poverty alleviation, and the first official in attendance was also Mr. Kenneth Chan. More recently, on the Fugitive Offenders Ordinance, and the 4th of May 2019, which was a Saturday, from 2 to 6:30 p.m., the House Committee special meeting in the verbatim record, the attending officer was Mr. Kenneth Chan. He was the first on the list. And at other House Committee special meetings, Mr. Kenneth Chan was not in attendance. And like I said, in the election of chairman and deputy chairman, Mr. Chan has categorically attended the meetings, but that was not always the case for special meetings. Nonetheless, the election of chairman and deputy chairman were the focus of these special meetings. The Secretary General used to be the first officer on the attendance list. He is obliged to witness the election process, and if necessary, he should render assistance. So my question is, why he no longer attended subsequent meetings? He said he would not always attend special meetings. However, if the special meetings were about electing the chairman and deputy chairman, I consider it Mr. Kenneth Chan's obligation to attend these meetings. He is a member of the LegCo staff, and for 3/2191/19 to 20/0407, I did not see any direct answer explaining why Mr. Kenneth Chan, as Secretary General of LegCo, did not have to attend the meetings on the election of the chairman and deputy chairman. And the reason is he might be called upon to deal with matters on behalf of the LegCo president during the meetings. So I find him the most suitable candidate for taking up such tasks. I'm simply trying to argue from both sides in explaining why I'm proposing the two motions. I will not elaborate further, so I would explain the whole logic of the two motions in one go. And I'm just trying to offer a context for other members. This is more than a convention. There is a necessity to it. If he was absent and yet there is no proper explanation, it is problematic. So I have provided these scenarios as a context for reference. Ms. Chan, the contents of your motion is somewhat redundant with the motions of other members. Do you wish to have a joint debate between your motion and the motions of other members? I do not consider them similar. My view is he should have attended the meetings. It is an obligation. As for other members, about the fair and just nature of the procedures, well, I think my motion should be considered separately. Do other members wish to speak on whether or not we should deal with Ms. Chan's motions? Dr. K. Kwok, please press the button if you wish to speak? Presiding member. The key in Ms. Tanya Chan's motion is the handling of special meetings. The motion is different from Mr. Alvin Yang's. First of all, Ms. Chan's motion does not require information to be kept in confidence. I am not against Mr. Alvin Yang's motion, but the focus in Ms. Chan's motion is not about information kept in confidence, and this I agree. All electrical meetings, including House Committee meetings, should be held in an open, transparent, and fair manner. In terms of the security arrangements, we are not, well, our function is not to be servants of the government or police. So this is not our obligation to uphold our independence, and under the separation of powers, we must defend our constitutional independence. We should not keep information provided by the Secretary General in confidence. Perhaps Mr. Kenneth Chan has been busy. Sometimes we would see him during lunch, but we are very surprised why he refused to attend the House Committee special meetings. So Ms. Tanya Chan's motion mentioned the special meetings in particular. Well, I do not wish to repeat what Ms. Tanya Chan said in previous House Committee special meetings. Well, the fact is Mr. Kenneth Chan did attend special meetings in the past, so I do not see any reason for him not to attend such meetings subsequently as a member of the staff. So long as he continues to hide from the special meetings, we can't help but wonder whether he has something to hide. As a staff member of LegCo, we would not allow Mr. Kenneth Chan to offer his opinion on matters related to the election of chairman and deputy chairman of the House Committee. In the past, he did attend special meetings of the House Committee, so why not this time? Since the turn of the year, well, since June, on many occasions, well, in terms of in terms of our independence at LegCo, as you know, the pro-Beijing parties have served to undermine our rights through their work at the Committee on Rules of Procedure. I would not go into the reasons for that. And this is not a debate about constitutional issues. We are just talking about a very basic function, and that is Mr. Chan should have attended, and he should provide details of various from various government departments. As you know, the road, well, the situation with the blocking of roads has not improved. Roads are very often blocked, and apparently LegCo has no say at all. The police can do whatever they want. They can seal off roads, or they can station a few yellow objects, or I beg your pardon, it should be green objects. We hope to see Mr. Kenneth Chan here. Presiding member, Ms. Tanya Chan's motion seeks to clarify that we are talking about special meetings that would elect the chairman and deputy chairman. A lot of loyalists love to undermine their own rights, and I hope they would consider supporting Ms. Chan's motion without undermining their own rights. And the provision that the information should be kept in confidence should be removed. This is something we insist upon, and hopefully other House committee members would support the motion. If Mr. Chan has anything to say, I'm all ears. And perhaps the probation camp or loyalists can share with us their thoughts if they are to vote down this motion. Mr. Gary Fan, Mr. Ted Hui, what is the point of order? Well, this is a technical point. Well, the screen is very small. You can look at the computer monitor in front of you. The words are still very blurred. Can the Secretariat project the screen on that panel as well? Well, it is out of focus, so I would take a 10-minute break to address this issue.